Hello. Welcome to Classic Rock Facts, the place where we check out interesting music events of the 60s, 70s, and 80s. This week's topic is another rare Beatles interview. Check out our library for more. To be able to fully appreciate today's topic, we need to go back in time to the year 1980. I was a teen at the time and I remember it well. Here's what was going on 45 years ago in the United States. President Jimmy Carter was running for re-election against California Governor Ronald Reagan. 52 Americans were being held hostage by Iran after being kidnapped a year earlier. Larry Holmes retained the heavyweight boxing championship by defeating former champ Muhammad Ali. In music, disco was on its last legs, and Queen ruled the charts with another One Bites the Dust. At the movie's Christopher Reeve romance Jane Seymour on Mackinac Island, in the time travel movie, Somewhere in Time, while all this was going on, at an unassuming building in Hell's Kitchen, John Lennon had secretly re-entered a music studio for the first time in 5 years. He had gone through his so-called lost weekend in L.A. and emerged a husband to Yoko and father to Sean. John, who was now 39 years old, had written several demos. Within months, John and Yoko would record the album Double Fantasy, which was released on November 17th. Unknown to the general public, John had made the decision to go on tour in the spring of 1981 to promote the album. Band members were recruited, staging, lighting and set lists were being worked on, and venues were reserved. There were even event shirts and posters designed for some of the first concerts of the One World, One People tour. But as we know, that tour would never come to be. LA Times journalist Robert Hilburn traveled to New York to interview John on October 10th of 1980. There was a lot of public interest in John after his 5-year hiatus. Will John want to discuss the Beatles? How does he feel about his past solo albums? What does he think about Paul and his music? Even though it was an audio interview, a home video camera was borrowed to record the day's event. Because we are going back 45 years, please remember that video resolution on VCR camcorders was 240 lines, compared to today's resolution of 2,160 lines. Also, because this was recorded at a functioning recording studio, there is background noise. Please enjoy the last video interview of the late, great John Lennon. I really like these last two photos. This one, taken in 1980 at the Hit Factory, shows John explaining to his 5-year-old son Sean how the control board at the studio works. The next photo shows Sean in the same seat at the Hit Factory 32 years later. Once again, I apologize for the inferior quality, but it is what it is. Thank you for watching.
But that's quite far away, because when I saw it, sort of the image was that big. Look, in this, way up in the sky, it was that sort of that fat.
It's just hard to get the whole thing because the wind.
Yeah, it was too wide anyway.
The first word would start to fade.
Because it'd say happy sort of East 81 and Sean on the plaza, you know, it was happy birthday, John, Sean.
Yeah, it stretched like half the city. It was real cool.
Toshi! Doko desu ka? Oh, idea was. It was originally Paul. There's another one where he called me up and say, we're going to be in this movie, because he's talking about making a movie, and so we just, let's make a movie, you know. And he says, write a bit. So I just wrote dreams that I made down. I'm trying to recreate that. But the one bit, the only bit I like, that I contributed, is the dream sequence where they're eating. And there's a very fat lady in this English or Scottish, really not Michael Putnam, that fat guy. And he's saying something or other to her. And it was a real dream of mine. But added a little bit. and people are walking all over the tables. There's an elevator that comes down. This was in the dream. Comes down like one of those French ones that you can see. There was a midget in it. He comes down, lands right on a table, and gets out. And people are coming out of the elevator, walking across the room. But the waiter is me. Only most people didn't recognize me. I dressed like my father, my stepfather, because they were both waiters. Greased the hairband and a little pencil, you know, those cheap-looking Valentino things out in the Boston. I got this big greased hair and this crazy like that. And I'm shoveling the food on the table like this with there's all spaghetti, and the fat one was just eating it. Even they're talking as if I'm not doing it. I'm just doing it like John Cleese, in fact. That's what, you know, that is, yeah,
it was a great scene.
That was my dream, you know. But he had it kind of. He said that we're going to go on this tour, you know, and it's on a bus, and here he says this quarter you have to fill it in. So I said, well, how long have I got? You know, you got 2 days. Oh, I have. Okay. So I got 2 days, so I'm trying to fill in he has an hour written like that, you see.
And would each of you do one quarter, or he?
Well, he was dividing up a bit like a record, you know. But the fact is he'd written about 10 songs, I had none. I had Walrus, there's only one John song in that film. I mean, it's entirely me. I contributed to the Mystery Tour songs. And what else is there? He's got Through the Hill and Coming Down the Steps, Mother, and Oh, We Should Know, whatever like that. What? We're making a movie? Okay, we'll get in on it, on the act. So Walrus, I filmed that part too. And I had all these policemen on the top of these big hangars. We couldn't find a studio, so the guy got us an airplane hangar to film it, you know. And they had these big concrete blocks that apparently were to save the planes in the war. So I was doing this kind of Fellini thing where everybody's dressed up. We're all dressed as the war. I can't remember, I confused myself with all the jokes. I don't remember. But whatever, we're dressed up with these funny people. And there's all these eggheads. And I had all the cops on the top of this thing. Police. I got it because I didn't know anything about real filming, and the cameraman apparently didn't either, nobody else. I got into the editing room, and it's out of frame for TV. You know, so I said, okay. So they pulled it, I said, pull it into a pulling frame. And the frame starts coming back over the top. I said, okay, we'll print the cops down below. So you see, if you ever see it, you'll see that all the sky, well, it's surreal again. The sky and the cops are all dancing underneath the group who's playing with all the lunatics walking. And that's how that was made.
When it was finished, what did you think when you saw it?
Oh, I loved it, you know, because it was a trip. So everybody was down on it, but it's all right. It's pretty. So what? So was the first album. But there's too much nothing happening. There's nothing happening at all. But there's some nice moments, the dream sequence. The Mother Should Know is a nice sequence, coming down with all those silly suits on. You know.
Are you all right? Did the reaction surprise you?
Yeah, but they were gunning for us before that. And what the BBC stupid idiots did, they showed it in black and white first. Can you imagine? Around Christmas on BBC Two. Mm. So it doesn't look well in black and white colour. You can just about manage it, and all the kids would have been all right in colour, but they put it in black and white, and then they reviewed it in black and white on BBC Two. And then, so by the time it came to be on in colour, I don't know if it ever got on in colour, but that was the end of it. It's like reviewing a mono version of a stereo record.
Well, was that the time that the band got the most criticism from the outside?
Oh, I don't think so. The reviewer from Me to You was Below Par Beatles in the NME, so it started then. Below Par, we'd only had 2 bloody singles out.
Because everyone thinks that everything was acclaimed.
Well, now they think it's all acclaimed, you know, and Chaplin and Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis, but look at the reviews of the day, nothing. Not all acclaimed at all. Some very nasty bits.
After a point, though, wasn't it pretty much?
No, never was easy. Only promoters live in dreamland thing. Give me a Beatle and I make $1 million. It doesn't work like that, or I sell $1 million. You gotta have a product. Yellow Submarine bombed out, didn't it? Well, it's a great movie.
No, but I don't think anyone was completely critical of it.
Are you kidding? It was ripped to shreds.
By critics?
Yeah, no, the answer was by everybody that it was because the kids liked it. Sean loves it now, all the little children love it. Because they expected the real Beatles to be in the movie. tricks. And that's one way, but still, I think it's a great movie. It's my favourite movie. I don't have to look at myself and see all the music.
Have you ever see him again?
Oh, sure, I see them again. I see them different every time I see them. Because I'm changing all the time. Every time I see them. I'm not so hard on myself as a group when I see them.
Did the reaction to Hard Day's Night surprise you? I mean, it got such a good review.
Oh, no, those days we expected everybody to fall over. We knew what we were doing. Oh, it's all right. Mother's the great one now, but then they just do self-indulgent. That's the only word people ever use, don't they? And it's about yourself, you know, and they don't like it. But
I think we took a wrong turn.
Enough people okay about it. I didn't need this house and really to feel good. I was proud of it. I knew it was all right. But some people got very upset about it.
Was imagining...
I think it's because it made them feel, it made them uncomfortable about their own mothers and their own fathers and their own childhood and their own Beatles. And they reviewed their emotions about what that album, it makes you feel. You can't listen to it in the background. Trust me. You know, you can't just put it on and, you know, have it going on like the Stones or something. You know, the Beatles. You have to either listen to it or forget it. And you can't listen to it every other day because it's too much. You know, it's like going to see some heavy play. You don't want, if you're not in the mood, it's to destroy you. Right?
When you went in to do Imagine, how did the reaction to the first album affect you at all? Or did you want to do anything different?
Well, that was sort of, after Imagine was more of a success. And then I got a bit bitter saying, well, it's just the mother with chocolate on, they couldn't take it pure.
Bob, can you let John in there to patch it?
Also, I felt like making it like that. That's why I didn't want to version of it. I never heard it correct, really. And you just use it.
Busy day. Yeah, busy day.
Double check. That was strange.
Yeah, well, that was... Don't get the idea. This was written today and put out now, and it's about what's going on now. This minute. It's not.
Ready?
It's not a. It's not a Squire or Playboy or New Yorker. It's the Daily News or the Daily Mirror. That's meaning don't expect the typing to be all right, and the picture might be fuzzy, and it's the Rush edition. And it's there's no finesse on it. It's a newspaper. It's not a magazine. So.
What I mean by mind games, it was just, you were talking earlier today about that was, it was hard for you to...
Because then I was in confusion, you know, and Jesus.
But did you know it at the time? Or did you have to look back?
Oh, I knew I was confused, all right, because every time I tried to clear it, it wasn't coming out clear. It's like rewrite.
What did you think at that time, that you might not just wait another year?
Oh, I never dreamt of waiting, no.
But you always felt you had to have something.
It's like being on stage and thinking, well, it's not a good night, I better stop. You know, you can't do that. You just do it anyway, right?
Mm-hmm. So what was the feeling of that?
But you see, there's, the Mind Games single is fine. There's just no energy to sustain through the album, and there was no clarity of vision. There's a few pieces, all right, but as a whole piece, there's no clarity. And the guy is there on the front with a little bag, and she's the mountain, and the whole thing says it. The cover says more than the record to me.
So when you finished that record, if it was, in a sense, not up to what you'd done the first few times, and then there's something in New York was a kind of an extra project, when you went into Walls and Bridges, how did you feel? I mean, were you confident? Less than you did.
That's really like to be sober and alive. Doesn't have much energy. After the drinking in the LA and all that.
What do you look forward to that album?
I'm excited every time I make it. I'm always excited. I was not excited about any of them. I was always pretty high on them, but you know, you can be excited but still get a soft on. Right? You have those nights, and that's too bad.
Well, when you finished with Walls and Bridges, did you know you were going to take a break then, or?
No idea. But I tell you what's funny, at the end of Rock and Roll House, I was overdosing just because it's Phil had got me to sing. I didn't even know the guy. This track, I started saying, oh, you're not recording, so I'll talk to you. Well, you're recording, why are you facing the Bobby Wall, Brian? You're in the end. What the hell are you doing? So, I'm saying, and so we say farewell from Record Plant. It just came to my conscience. Am I saying goodbye to everything? Is this the rock and roll? Is this with the picture from Hamburg? Is this it? Just flashed in my mind for a split second, but I didn't consciously think it.
So was that on the record?
Yeah. That was the last track of music. So we say farewell from Record Plant, whatever. Should I walk away from this? Is that what was happening? Is this the beginning of the end? No, as I say, so we say farewell. I was ad-libbing like I do on many records. By the time I get to the end of the track, I start. There's all kinds of
So right when you said it, you were aware of what you were saying. The reason for where
I wasn't. I was hearing that somebody else was saying it, and I was thinking, is he saying, is that what he's saying?
Somebody's got
what
it.
he means.
But then he didn't mean that because it wasn't consciously conceived. But then I was, I had no idea of not really doing it. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
So it was like a dream that you think, oh, no, and then it's gone, you see. It doesn't occur to me again until something happens and you think, is this deja vu? Oh. So when I did it, then I started remembering that, thinking, Jesus, it's like the Mind Games cover. Was that what it was? Is that what it was saying? Was it premonition of my own self?
Doesn't matter.
But when you finish an album, if you go back 6 months and listen to it, can you learn things from it? The things that you didn't
I never do that. I always play the one before, just before I go in again. Like I played Walls and Bridges just before I came in, to see what state of the art I was at then. And
Should be tail
it wasn't that bad. It was just miserable.
The memory of when you were doing it.
Yeah, it just brought all the misery back. But so Mother can bring all the misery of that back. It does tend to.
Do you keep it with Paul's albums at all?
No, I dropped out round about the one with the rose in his mouth or
Red Rose
something.
Speedway?
But I hear the singles. If it's on the radio, I'll hear it. And I thought the Coming Up was great. And I like the freak version that he made in his barn better than that live Glasgow one, you see.
The one that's on the album? The one that's with speeded up voices?
Yeah, I think that's... if I'd have been with him, I would have said, yes, that's the one too. And I thought the record company had a nerve changing it round on him. But, I know what they mean. They want to hear the real guy singing. But I like the freaky one. Stevie Wonder does it. Nobody moans at him.
If you stopped listening to Paul, I mean, there was no sense of competition.
But he was putting so much stuff. I couldn't keep up with all that tingly stuff going on albums, just dribbling on.
How about in the beginning, though, when you did other albums, was there some competition?
Well, there always was, I suppose, but I was so full of me, centered then, I didn't give a shit what he did,
Full of what?
Full of myself, centered, in other words.
So in a sense, you weren't comparing as much as you might have.
There's no comparison for me, because
I mean, comparing artistically and comparing sales-wise and stuff?
Oh, sales-wise, forget it. He always had more fans than me in the cabin, so there's no comparison on that level, and the other level I don't think it counts. I think it's like comparing, I don't know, Magritte and Picasso, if you want to put it on that level, or whatever. How can you compare it?
Was there any sense of competition when you were
It's like comparing Goldman and Van Gogh. They were friends.
Did you feel like you have to decide in your band? Like, did you try to come up with songs that were, did you work kind of like he had a better song than you?
When we were all together? There was competition. It was good.
Competition isn't so much to be bad.
No. Yeah, there was always competitiveness between all of us. The space and time.
Was there any song when you came in that you really were impressed by that was the real...
If I'm impressed, I'll run away and write one.
If you're impressed by him, you mean...
Oh, if I'm impressed by a record on the air, I immediately I want to write. Warren Beatty said that. about movies. A great movie is one that makes you want to make a movie. I wish I'd made that. Shit, I'd go right out and make it.
That's like the combination of the human beings, the combination of the artist.
I don't know which it is, but it's that bit. He said it, and it's right. If I hear a great record, I immediately want to make it. And, I'll make one like that.
Was there one of Paul's songs that you came in with that you thought was like you were surprised they could write something that well good, or
No, he never surprised me because it was like you can be surprised by your brother from age 15 on. Not surprised, but I think, he's going there. Well, I'm going here. It's hard to detail it. It's not the real Bob Dylan holding that thing. You've got a panel over the front of it. How can you see anything? It says RCA on the window.
I'm not looking through there. There's a TV in here.
Oh, I see. It's not like a... Oh, that's a little TV.
I'm watching you on black and white TV.
You put all three of them together. Yep.
Oh, the old cameras you used to actually see through it, right? That police one you got me, remember? You could film in the night.
No, that had a TV in it. Movie cameras you look through.
What?
Movie cameras you look through. But these
Yeah,
are
I did not. I shouldn't have known, but I didn't. You know, I just thought, oh, silly buggers left the cap on the lens.
Oh, this is a good paper. I like it.
What?
Here's a good piece of paper. I like it.
I will?
Yeah.
Good. File it under good tape.
Patch that over 31 and 32 until we were ready to gate.
He's amazing, right? You probably see him before you head back.
They ought to be panned.
Yeah, and rhythm.
Oh yeah.
Can we try rhythm?
Yeah.
Well, it sounded pretty good. Oh, he's actually...
The quickest war I've been.
We
had to leave
what
the
are they
room.
calling? They have a name for those short wars, don't they? What do they have? They have some kind of name for short, very quick wars. Yeah, like the 3-day war. Didn't they have a name for that? 6 days.
Skirmish, I guess.
Border skirmish. Is Hal gonna do some tricks now?
Pretty soon.
Oh, you have to tell him first, right?
Yeah.
Is it absolutely boiling in here again?
Feels warm.
It's the lights, isn't it?
Yeah.
Didn't the
needed
lights
them to
start
edit.
to... Oh, no, it's okay. You
No,
need
no,
the lights.
I'm going.
Oh, okay, he's going. Give
That's
him the
a,
lights. That'll be the end
it's a
of
good cue, yeah.
To where?
Well, I
3
thought
and
you
6?
give me the video.
Yeah, I did.
Come off, you're not going off the
Oh,
back
no.
of the camera.
Track it in?
Cindy would be
Yeah, we're gonna do
No,
Oh,
no.
okay, great.
You wouldn't
So-
do that well.
You want to
No.
heat off the drums?
No, lights
Yeah.
down.
Okay.
Lights.
So let's just run the one machine and then... Yeah. So what you want to do is key a drum. 31 and 32, right? Take them and put them through the gates and send a key off of let's see, 11 and 12.
Yeah.
So we're using the key packs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a
maybe the first conversation I asked me.
Yeah, because somebody once asked us that.